Hey there, everybody out there in YouTube land. This is Shannon, your therapist and tarot coach, and I'm here again today to talk about something that is really hard, and especially these days with the way things are with the economy and jobs and all of that, and relationships. And there's so much stress and so much going on that I just wanted to give you some words that I'm hoping you'll find comforting. It's something that I've really had to look at myself and dig really deep and keep the faith. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about when you feel like you're really working hard and you're trying really hard, but you feel like you're not getting anywhere. Maybe it's a job you want or a relationship you want, and you just feel like everything you do just, I don't want to say fails because nothing's ever a failure. It really isn't, but you feel like it is. You feel like you're falling short. You feel like, you spend your time thinking, what am I doing wrong? Like there's got to be something I'm doing wrong here. And, I was kind of feeling it today. And I had a door close on me about something that I had looked into, an opportunity, and the door closed. And it was really upsetting. And where do we immediately go when a door is closed? We go to that place of it, and you feel it, right? You just feel that visceral, I'm not good enough. They didn't want me. So there must be something wrong with me. They didn't want me. Maybe I'm a bad person. Did I come across badly? Did they not like my personality? Is this something about me? Do I need to change something? And I'm here to tell you, there's nothing that you need to change. And I look at this from different perspectives, and I want to cover a few of those. But first and foremost, it's so important to really believe it in your heart. There's nothing wrong with you. So if you found this today, I really don't think it's a coincidence. I really hope it's helpful. Truly, I do, because I'm feeling that too. I'm in it with you. And I want to share my own experience and wisdom from having this happen to me and how I'm dealing with it literally in real time. I swear to God. So, like I said, the first place we go to is all the ways we beat ourselves up and how we fell short. And we just go to town on ourselves. And some people, there's different levels of that. Some people really go to town and can get really depressed and feel very anxious and really just really kind of spin. For other people, they kind of have a moment and shake it off, and then everywhere in between. But I'm here to tell you a few things that I know are true. One, from a bigger, grander scale, this just was not meant for you. And I know people are just like, oh my God, I roll. Where have I heard that so many times? And it's really frustrating to hear when you're financially strapped. You don't know when your next paycheck's coming. You don't know how you're going to put food on the table. You don't know how you're going to pay rent or a mortgage or a car payment, or you're getting to that place where it's like something's got to happen, or the door was closed on a relationship and you start to go to that place of no one's ever going to love me. What's wrong with me? Or whatever it is, it's real and it really sucks. And it's just, I've established that it's really, really tough. But the first thing, like I was saying, is if you can look at it from this perspective, and this is what I truly believe, and here's how I know it's true: hindsight. So if you just stop for a second and you look back on your life at all the doors that were closed and where you were redirected, wherever you were redirected to is where you were meant to be, either to learn a lesson or because that was all of us, part of our contract. I fully believe our soul contracts, part of why we're here. But sometimes we're redirected because there's a lesson we need to learn, and it's temporary, and then we're redirected yet again in another way. Or there's another opportunity that's for you, that was meant for you, that you were supposed to be moving toward. And sometimes, just a little side note, how this can happen is this. It's really interesting. So this is something that if you know who Phil Good is, I remember him saying this one time. And, the way that I'm going to talk about free will real quick. I used to think, and I'm not sure if this resonates with you. I used to think that free will was kind of more of this way of how we are as human beings, that as we move through life, I didn't think too much about destiny. I knew nothing about quantum physics at the time. I knew nothing about it within regards to quantum physics, how everything is really happening in the present moment. I didn't think that way. This was years and years ago. And the way that I thought of free will was that, depending upon what we choose, I can choose whatever I want to do, and that'll take me in this direction or that direction or this direction. And there's multiple possibilities, which is still true. But I just looked at it in a completely different way. And I don't know if I'm really illustrating it great, how I used to look at it, but that's how I used to look at it, that it was more kind of a free for all, I guess. When Phil Good explained it like this, and when he explained it like this, it was like, oh my gosh, yes. And sorry about the reflection of my light. I need to raise it. And my glasses is so annoying. So I remember him saying this, and I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. And I think I may have mentioned it here before on one of my other videos. So the way that, in the context of what I'm talking about, the way free will works is that you came into this life with soul contracts, planned everything, the lessons you were going to learn, the experiences you were going to have for your highest good, for your soul's growth. And your heart, like I think I've talked about this before, your heart is the most electromagnetic organ in your entire body, 5,000 times stronger than your brain. Electromagnetic. And what is in our heart is part of where our intuition lies, our inner knowing, our inner compass, our deep, deep knowing in terms of what the truth is for us and on our path and our choices. And when we go into self-sabotage and really allow fear and being in a state of resistance to take over, when we get in fear and resistance, so let's say, we have an opportunity that's presented to us. When we go into a state of fear and resistance, because maybe that opportunity triggers us, we're afraid of failure, we are afraid of being abandoned, or we're afraid we're not good enough, or we will fail, or whatever it is, the way that we protect ourselves is to allow those fears to take over. And when we're in a state of fear and resistance, we what's the word I'm looking for? We initiate our free will to go the opposite direction of where we're actually supposed to go. So when free will comes in, usually it's around fear and resistance. We are using our will to go against what is the truth of what we're actually meant to do. Okay, so to come back to where I was. My point being that if you are in one of these situations like I've been today, literally it happened today, I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is what I truly believe in my situation, full-heartedly. A couple things. So one, what I'm talking about is that I keep going backwards. So I keep trying to go back to being a therapist, wanting to get a job as a therapist, thinking that I'm going to go and move forward with getting my license, because I never got it, because where I was before, I continued to have more responsibility that didn't allow me to have a caseload in order to get my license. So I had this opportunity with this practice and they didn't choose me. That's okay. And I really truly believe, especially as a therapist, because I believe that your clients even come to you the way they're meant to come to you for, a higher purpose, that our clients find us and choose us from a very universal spiritual standpoint, but that's for a whole topic for another day. But it wasn't a good fit. And I was okay. I totally got it. I understood. And I didn't even feel after the interview that it was a good fit. Just the energy was off. And I feel energy like I know these things. And I knew it before it even happened. Did I have a moment where I'm like, gosh, what's wrong with me? Yep. But then I went to that place of, right, but guess what you know is true? What is the message you think the universe is trying to send you, Shannon? Okay, well, let's see here. Honestly, I believe that I keep trying to go back to doing something. The universe is like, oh my gosh, no, no. What you're doing now, being a tarot coach, going into the spiritual, coaching people, doing your business that you've created with your blood, sweat, and tears, getting on YouTube, helping people in this way. This is what you're meant to do. So stop trying to go backwards. So the universe went, no, and shut the door. I feel like the universe, it's really forcing my hand. And so going back to my example, I instituted my free will by continuing to go back and try to go backwards and do something that has been over for a really long time, instead of really focusing on what I know is true in my heart, which is I know in my heart, this is where I'm supposed to be, talking to you, whoever's watching this, doing my tarot coaching, because I really believe in tarot, not because I believe that tarot is this crystal ball or fortune telling thing, the way that sometimes people can see it, but I've learned by really getting into it that it's such an amazing tool. Blows my mind every time how much it connects us into our deeper knowing, our inner knowing, and our intuition and the symbolism, and allowing us to bring forth what we know is true, what's already there. And it's just a way for me to structure my coaching in order to really have clients have a tangible way of really connecting to themselves, which is really why I'm here, to help you connect to yourself and believe in yourself. And so I really felt like the universe is like, yeah, no, Joe, you're doing this. Sorry for the camera shake. So I'm here to tell you, I deal with this too. I'm dealing with it today. And these are the things I'm doing. So I look at it from a grant. So the other thing, number two, so number one is about, when, whoa, there's a bug in front of my face. Sorry. When you have a door close, ask yourself, is this a situation where I am making choices out of fear? Whether that's staying in a relationship, leaving a relationship, staying at a job, leaving a job, making a certain decision, not making a decision. Okay, whatever it is, are you making this choice from your heart space, from your inner knowing? And it can be so scary. It's so incredibly scary, trust me, because it literally feels like you're jumping off of a cliff without a net, because you're going into the unknown and you're doing something that we in this world have not been basically I can't think of a better word. The word trained keeps coming to mind, but that's not really what I want to use, but we'll just say it. We haven't been kind of taught, that's the word, taught how to do. So a lot of this, like, a lot of people in the spiritual communities, a lot of people out there say, trust your heart. It is the way. I guarantee you it is the way, but it can be really scary. The number two thing I want to really talk about, which I hope is helpful in this context, talking about this subject, is that in the quantum, this is the other thing I thought. In the quantum, remember, in terms of time, it's an illusion. There's no past, there's no future. You only have now. So if time is an illusion and all we have is now, that means everything that has happened across all time, space, dimensions, and realities has to be happening right now as well. And so it's layered. It's kind of, all those things are kind of layered. They're all happening in these dimensions all at the same time. So if that's the truth, then that means that whatever is meant for you, well, let me go back and say it differently. So that means that wherever you are in the future, whatever you're meant to be doing is already happening. It's yours. It's already happening. You and our job is to just try to pay attention to the signs that the universe is giving us to direct us to that place we are going to, where that is. So our higher self is already there. It's already in the future in terms of linear time. It's already there. In the quantum, it's happening. It's happening now. You are, so let's say there's a career or a dream job or a change in how you want to, be of service in the world. You're dreaming about it, but you're like, wow, I don't know if I have what it takes. Do I need more education? Who am I to think I could possibly do this? Who am I to think I could do what that person's doing? They're really successful at it. Will I be as successful? Can I do it? The answer is yes. And if it keeps coming up and it's in your heart and you keep getting signs and synchronicities and your heart keeps bringing you back to it time and time again, pay attention to that, listen to that. And it's hard because what it does is that the universe, because there's no linear time, it happens on universe time when everything is aligned, when all the players and the people who may be involved in this also have to be ready to come together to do this with you. Maybe it's a collaboration. Maybe you're going to go work at a certain place with different people. Maybe the place you're going to end up working hasn't even been created yet. It's going to be a new business that someone starts. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's why it's so important to not allow, when people talk about don't let your fears allow you to run away, don't run away with your fears. That's why we talk about that. That's why in the spiritual world or whatever, people talk about that, because it's the truth. When you allow your fear to take over, that's when all the self-doubt comes in. That's when you start to tell yourself all those negative things about, I'm not good enough. Maybe I don't really deserve it. Who am I to think I could do this? I'll probably fail. Sometimes people are afraid of success. And then you will choose from that place. And then when we choose from that place of fear and resistance, we're literally getting further and further away from the place we're actually supposed to go to get us to the thing we want that's already happening in the quantum. Let me say that again. When you are in a state of fear and resistance, you will make choices from that place that move you in the opposite direction of where you're supposed to go to get to the place you actually want to be, which is already happening. It doesn't mean that it's not going to happen, but you're probably creating a delay. So that's why it's so important to trust your heart, trust yourself, trust in your ability, believe in yourself. And some days that's harder than others, but if you can just sit in quiet and try to calm the fear, calm the ego, and don't avoid the fear and resistance, but really look at it, sit with it, get quiet with it, and just sit and allow that fear and resistance to just be. Look at it, face it, look at where it's coming from. And then really get honest with yourself. Are these things true about you? Is there somebody or something telling you you won't be successful? No. Are you going to fail? Possibly, but if it's meant for you, you won't. Are you getting signs and synchronicities, or are you being led to go toward this place? Yes. And so oftentimes, we will have multiple doors closed because if you're in a situation where every single time you're trying to go the opposite way because you're afraid, you're trying to control, because when we're in fear, we want to control it. It's like, oh, I'm going to control it. I'm going to do this instead because it's a guaranteed thing. Every time you do that, you're moving further away and you're not listening. So it's really, listening to your heart. So all I'm here to tell you is, if this resonates, is just trust your heart. And I know a lot of people talk about it, but I'm here to tell you in real time, I'm living it. I listen to this all the time. I have so many people that I respect in the spiritual world, friends of mine, thought leaders out there who talk about this, and it's really the truth. So I'm really here on my channel to be more of the, I'm not a guru, it's not what I'm here for, but to really be that, you're that person that maybe lives on your street, who's just your average Joe person, whatever that is, but you know what I'm getting at, who's just here telling you in real time, this is what it looks like, feels like, smells like, when you are trying to live a life of not being in fear and resistance and instead believing in yourself. And it's really hard. So it's just, from one woman to another. If this resonates at all, I'm here just to tell you to trust yourself, trust your heart. And if it's here and it keeps coming up, and there's something you're dreaming about, something deep, deep down that you're meant to do, to be in service of others, or if it has to do with relationships, let's say that you're out there dating and you're really ready for that relationship, you're ready for that commitment to be with your person, to have that companionship and create a life together, and you keep meeting people that aren't resonating, it's not working, and you're getting really down on that whole thing, and you start to wonder, am I ever going to find my person? Just know the universe has your back, and the universe, whatever that means to you, it knows all. It knows all the players, sees everything, knows everything that's going on, and has a different vantage point than we do. That's why we have to trust what is coming in front of you, trust what you are being shown, and trust what's also leaving. It's leaving for a reason. It means there's something so much better that's better for you, a better fit for you, just like there will be something that's a better fit for me, most likely my business, what's really in my heart, what I'm the most passionate about, and am filled with so much joy to do, because I want to be able to connect to people like you who's seeing this, because I want to make a difference, and I just want to share my story and the ups and downs and the good, the bad, the ugly about living this human life and trying to keep on a spiritual path and, do the thing. So I hope this is helpful. This is something that I talk a lot about in my membership, and I just renamed my membership. It's called Soul Sanctuary. And I am in love with my membership. I have some members in there that are really phenomenal women. And this is a membership that I created completely out of love. I don't make a ton of money with it. It's not even the point of why I do it. I wanted to create a community for women where they could come and they could explore mind, body, soul, subject matter in terms of change, looking at, why do I get these triggers? Why do I have this fear and resistance around different parts of my life? Why do I second guess myself? Why do I compare myself to others? Why do I have these issues with self-worth and thinking I'm not good enough? Why am I a people pleaser? All those things. And I talk about that. So I have pillars in my membership that kind of take you through the process to allow you to look at those things with a complete judgment-free, shame-free place. So not into that, where we have a lot of fun. I offer tarot readings and meditations and cheat sheets and guides and a ton of bonuses. And I do a masterclass once a month on a topic and coaching calls. And I have my own community that's private, that's not on any social media platform. It's on my website, hosted by me. And I'm just absolutely in love with it. And I have members who have made some tremendous change in their life. And it's just amazing to see. So just know that if anything I'm ever talking about resonates, I'm here to help you. There's my membership you can take a look at. I'll drop a link below, or you can schedule a reading with me, a coaching session with me. I'd love to see you, meet you, and help you. Thank you literally from the bottom of my heart for being here. And if you've watched this whole video and anything I've said has helped you, and you have taken your precious time to watch this, I truly thank you from the bottom of my heart. I have so much gratitude for you being here. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you think this might help someone, share it with them. But like the video below, comment, please. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions, let me know. And I will send, I can't talk. I am sending you, I'm also a goofball, by the way, total goofball. Keeping it real here. So anyway, sending you so much love. Have a beautiful day. See you later.